Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Transwest Truck Trailer RV. My name's Nicole, and I'm one of the sales professionals here at our Frederick location. It is a beautiful day here in Colorado. I don't know where you guys are watching from around the country, around the world, but it is a beautiful day here. Today we're going to be looking at this white M2 106 Plus Summit Hauler conversion from Freightliner. This is a beautiful truck. It's got a lot of great features built into it, so I'm excited to jump right in with you guys. We can start right here. You can see we have a beautiful signature grille from C9 with the Summit Hauler signature, made for great durability, and it's going to look absolutely fantastic on the road with that chrome. Gives a little bit of pop of light. Taking a look down here, we have our 3-piece removable bumper. This is going to be great if someone bumps you on the road or you have a fender bender of some sort. You can remove each of these individually, which is going to make it less costly for you, and it's going to minimize that downtime because they just pop off pretty easy. Right over here you can see we have the 2 secure towing hooks. If you need a quick tow, these are going to be very durable and strong for you to do so. There you can see we have the Detroit Assurance collision detection box. That is one of the many features that we have on this truck from Freightliner. Great safety features. We'll go ahead and talk a little bit more about those when we get inside the truck. Up here you can see we have a very durable hood. This is going to be made of a condensed fiberglass. It's going to be a little bit better than that aluminum because it's going to dent a lot less. Here in Colorado we get hail. I know Oklahoma, Texas is the same way. So if you live in any states that are known for hail weather, these hoods are going to be better for that specific reason. Looking under the hood, you are going to see that we have the Cummins L9 engine. This is going to give 360 horsepower and 1,150 pounds of torque. The Cummins engine is going to be absolutely fantastic for those long, heavy road trips in that hauling. This is going to be paired with the Allison 3200 TRV 6-speed automatic transmission. The Allison is very great for those smooth rides and for those very long road trips. It's going to ensure that you have a very smooth ride. So that combination together is going to make for a great hauling trip. One nice thing about these Freightliners is you can see how they fold up, and you have absolute access to everything you may need to maintenance on this truck. You can see we have the fuel filter water separator right here, power steering fluid, we have our fuse box, and we've got some filters over there. So if you need to do a quick maintenance on this guy, everything is going to be very accessible. And the nice thing about this hood is it's not going to come down on you. It stays pretty steady up. Even if there's wind, that's going to be safe for you and you don't have to worry about that blowing down. Right down here we have our hookups for the jumpers. So if you need a quick jump or you need to jump someone else, those are going to be easy hookups right there. Very accessible again under the hood, and it's going to be for a quick and easy startup. So that's a great thing to keep in mind as well. As we go ahead and put this hood down, you can see it's just going to be a light push down, and if I can do it, I promise you anybody can. So we've got that guy set, and then there's going to be 2 latch hooks for security on each side, and it's just going to be an easy hook just like that. You do the one on the other side and you are absolutely good to go. Right here you can see for our wheels we have the 255 80R 22.5 XRV Michelin tires. That is going to be paired with the Alcoa wheels. The Alcoa is going to be great for durability, and this chrome looks very nice. It's also going to be good for the better fuel mileage because those are lighter. Another thing that Transwest adds into these tires is going to be ball balancers. That's going to be great because it's going to make even wear on those tires, and it's going to give you more stability and a smoother ride on the road as well. So that's a great thing that we add into these trucks. Looking up here, we have our breakaway mirrors. Now these mirrors are large, so you're going to be able to see everything on the road. It's going to eliminate a lot of those blind spots. It's going to be safer not only for you and your truck, but it's going to be safer for the people around you as well. Another great feature about these is they do brake forward and backwards. If you need to fold in for parking reasons or someone were to, bump into you, those mirrors aren't going to break off. They're just going to bend. So that's going to eliminate those costs of repairing something like that too. Right down here, you're gonna see we have our engine block heater. Now that guy's gonna be good for those winter months. I know it gets really, really cold into the negatives here in Colorado, and I know a lot of places around the country as well. If you leave that plugged in overnight in that cold weather, it's gonna keep things from gelling up. It's gonna keep your oil and your fuel warmed up so you're not having any issues starting in the morning. But that's just gonna keep everything, you know, ready to go for you. Right here, you can see that we have a certified clean idle sticker. Now, what that means is that if you live in California, and not only live, but if you are driving through California, this truck is certified for clean idle in order to do so. So you can rest assured that you're gonna be absolutely fine on the road driving, and you know, if you're driving through hauling, or if you live there, this truck is going to be absolutely safe for you to do so, and you're not gonna be breaking any laws. Right here, you can see another safety feature on this Freightliner is the 3-strip non-slip grips for getting into the truck. I know this truck has a bit of a step to get into it, so these grips are really gonna make you feel a lot safer and more structured getting into that truck, especially with this safety handlebar right here. That's gonna be a great safety feature, especially in the cold months when it ices up, so that's a good thing to know as well. Right here, you're gonna see we have our first of 2 fuel tanks that are on this truck. This is going to be a 50-gallon fuel tank, and right next to it is going to be our 6-gallon DEF tank. That's gonna get you around 300 to 350 miles per gallon on average. Like I said, this truck has 2 fuel tanks. I will go ahead and get a little bit more detailed on that on the other side, but this is going to be one of them. And the nice thing about this is it's an easy close, and it has the feature to lock for safety reasons as well. Alrighty, taking a look into the front of the truck, you're gonna see that we have the beautiful chocolate interior. The interior on this truck is absolutely fantastic. We'll look a little bit more detailed into that later, but these trucks are built for comfort. As you look at these seats, they are very comfortable. They've got a lot of features to make that happen as well. Right here, we have our air ride that goes up and down based on where you want it to sit. We have our lumbar support, our heated seat, and our tilt. So like I said, built for comfort. I know these trucks are usually made for those long road trips, and they're very shock absorbing. So that is a great thing to know, is you are going to drive comfortably in these Freightliners. Right down here, you're gonna look, you're gonna see that we have our kill switch for the truck. Now that is going to kill all accessories for the truck, whether that's, you know, lights, different things like that. If you flip that switch off when you're not using it, you are going to be assured that nothing is going to be draining your battery without knowing. Right above it, you're gonna see we have a light test button. Now that is going to run a full light test on your truck. It's a great thing to do if you have a long road trip. You wanna make sure you're driving safe and the people around you, just knowing that all of your signals are working. So that's a great thing to run before you get on the road. All right, taking a look at our back seat. You're gonna take a look in there and see, again, we have that beautiful chocolate interior. It looks absolutely fantastic with the interior of this truck. Now this back seat has quite a bit of room in it. As you can see, you can fit passengers very comfortably back here. And not only that, we have storage under the seats where you can fit a duffel. You can see we have a duffel right under here that fits very comfortably and nicely, but there is storage down here where you can fit bags, and different things under the seat. So if you do have those passengers, you're not gonna have anything at their feet and things can fit nicely under. So that's a great thing to keep in mind if you've got some stuff to stow. And then one other thing about this is it does fold down into a bed. So just by a switch of a button, that will fold down for you. So that is DOT certified, so you can sleep on the side of the road, you know, at a gas station, wherever you need. That's gonna be comfortable for you. Right over here, you're gonna see we have a 4-bolt pull-off panel. Just behind this panel is gonna be battery access. Now, the only reason you're gonna need access to those batteries is gonna be if you are maintaining or replacing them, because those jumping hookups are gonna be right behind the front tire. There's not much reason to get into there unless, like I said, you are going to be replacing that. So that's a good thing to keep in mind, but just so you know, that is right behind this panel. All right. This little thing right here is going to be our trickle charger. Now that is just a quick plug-in. Again, if you're not gonna be using this truck for a few months or a few weeks, you know, you just aren't gonna be as active in it. You can leave this plugged in and it is going to keep those batteries alive. I know sometimes when you don't use even cars for a long period of time, the batteries just die. That's going to prevent that from happening. So you just leave that plugged in. It's going to make sure when you do get back on the road, everything is going to be ready to go for you. So another great feature about that is it can charge a small 12-volt device. So that's good for multiple different things, but that is the primary use for that right there. Taking a look at our first storage compartment, you can see we have the very durable diamond plate. Now there's quite a bit of room in this specific storage compartment. You can see we have some things back there. Looks like we got an air hose. This is going to be a great place to put, some extra def, some tools, toolboxes, whatever you may need. You're taking a look right there. You can see we have the air truck that Transwest adds into there. It is a very useful feature that we have. You can easily plug this air hose into it. You can have the ability to pump up your tire, a buddy's tire, or if you're going to the lake, for a weekend, you can pump up some tubes. So that's a great feature to know on those as well. One thing I like to add about the diamond plate is if you've got toolboxes in here and def, whatever you may add, it's going to keep things from sliding around as much in there because it kind of grips onto it. So that's great to know as well. And then it's, like I said, scratch resistant, so nothing's going to get damaged in there. Alrighty, taking a look at our smaller storage compartment. This is going to be a great place to put your chains and straps. Not a whole lot of room for things to get lost in there, so that's good to know. You just easy access to what you need. As you can see on all of our storage compartments, we have this weather stripping. Now that's going to prevent water from getting in there, so you can be assured that everything that you have in these storage compartments are going to be safe on the road. So it's a good thing to know. Taking a look at the bed of the truck, you can see again we have the very durable diamond plate. Now we love having the diamond plates on these trucks to top because it's going to be more resistant to the weather and it's not going to rust. You see some truck beds, they rust over time. Well, this is going to be more resistant and it's going to be more lasting for you. Taking a look right over here, you can see we have two pre-drilled holes. So that's going to be a great place to add, an extra toolbox. You can add a spare tire, whatever storage compartment that can be easily put on there for you. And if you are interested in doing so with purchasing the truck, let us know and we can easily get a storage box put on there for you, or some other accessories you may want. We can do that for you. Right above the headache bar, there is going to be our Voyager camera. This is going to be camera 1. We'll talk a little bit more about the whole system when we get in the truck, but that is going to be the first camera that gives you a view of the backup right over here. So that is going to give you, the visions for backing up a gooseneck, for, fifth wheel, just going to give you some visibility that those mirrors are not going to give you. So that's a great thing to keep in mind, and it's very useful when backing up. Right over here, you're going to see we have these 3 strips. These are going to be tie downs for, tying down straps, chains, whatever, and that can hold up to 1,000 pounds. So if you need to do that, that is very user-friendly and easy to use. Taking a look right on the bed, you can see we have our gooseneck hooked up right over there, and they are steel plates under these as well. I get a lot of questions, well, okay, if you have the aluminum or the diamond plate on the bed, then how is it going to distribute weight? Well, we have steel plates right under here, so that's how the weight's distributed. It's going to give you a good towing experience, and even without towing and driving the truck itself, it's going to make that a smooth ride for you because that weight is distributed. Taking a look right here, this is going to be our plug-in for our gooseneck fifth wheel, and this is going to be our plugins for our bumper pull. Now taking a look at this bumper pull right here, we have the Gen Y hitch. This is going to be able to pull, this hitch specifically is going to be able to pull 32,000 pounds. Now this is the 2 5/16, and we've got the 2-inch right on the other side. But the Gen Y hitch is going to be absolutely amazing just because it has the ability to be customizable to where you need it. You can raise this to where it needs to sit, and then these pull out easily, and they can be, like I said, used to how you need them. So the Gen Y hitch is going to be great for all those bumper pull loads that you're going to have. Right here is going to be our Voyager Camera 2 hookup. Now, one thing I want to mention is we can do the Voyager camera hookups wired, but we can also now do them wirelessly. So if you would prefer that option, we can do that for you. But this is going to be a great place where you can run a camera to your trailer, and you can keep an eye on your livestock while you're on the road. I know a lot of people that purchase these trucks, you know, you might have horses, cows, whatever it is that, you know, you need to haul. You can run those cameras and keep an eye on those where you're not having to worry about them. So that's a great thing to keep in mind with that. Alrighty, going over here, you're gonna see we have yet another smaller storage compartment. Again, this is gonna be a great compartment for those chains and straps and any smaller features. Right over here, you're gonna see we have, again, our larger storage compartment. This one does not have an air chuck. However, one thing I wanna mention on these larger compartments is they do have light features. I know you can't really see it right now, but there is a light feature where if you're using these at night, you're not gonna need a flashlight, and it is pretty bright. So it's gonna light up everything that you're gonna need in there. So that's a great thing to keep in mind. Right here is going to be our second fuel tank on the truck. This is another 50 gallon. So we've got two 50-gallon separate fuel tanks on this truck. However, one thing to know is they are self-balancing. So if you want to fill one side and one side only, it will self-balance. However, if you do want that full fill on the truck, you will have to fill on both sides. So great thing to keep in mind. Again, this side does lock as well. Alrighty, taking a look at our passenger side, you're gonna see that there is the same comfortability as our driver. These seats are absolutely mirrored. Again, shock absorbing air ride, so they are gonna be very comfortable with the same controls. So everything's gonna be same on this side. Right over here by the feet, you're gonna see that there is a removable panel. Now, right behind that panel is going to be access to a fuse box. Now, if you need to get to there, you're just gonna remove that off and you're gonna have access to all that stuff. But that's what is behind that cover right there. Alrighty, taking a look at the back seat, you're gonna notice how much room is back there. It's very roomy for your passenger, or for your, you know, backseat passengers. And then there's some great features for charging back there. I know there's different charging capabilities if you need to charge an iPad, an iPhone, you know, any device you need. Those charging ports are gonna be there for you. All right, the first thing you're gonna notice getting in here is the very large sized windshield. Now this is gonna be 2,500 square inches of windshield, and I'm telling you guys, when you're driving this truck, not only during the day, but at night, it's gonna give you great safety visibility of the road, and you're gonna be able to see everything. So combined with the great mirrors, you're gonna have not very many, you know, blind spots on this truck. Alrighty, and to get this guy started, I'm gonna go ahead and let it sit in accessories for 3 to 5 seconds. That's just gonna give it some time to wake up and get ready to go, and an easy start. I know I discussed it a little bit earlier, but look at the interior on this truck. It is absolutely beautiful. Looking at the brown right here, we have the tan, you know, console here, and then with the chocolate seats. This interior is a great pair if brown is your color. Personally, it's mine. I love the brown interior, but overall, just how everything is paired in this truck, even with everything up here, it is just a beautiful interior. Moving right up there, you're gonna see we have some storage compartments. That's gonna be a smaller one. It's a great place to, you know, put some sunglasses, pens, anything small you need in there. Right here is going to be our larger storage box. Great for papers. It go pretty far back in there. So you can fit quite a few things in there as well. Right up here is going to be our Voyager camera system. I know I briefly talked about that outside, but you can host up to 4 cameras on this truck. So by clicking this button, well, actually you can see right here, this is going to be our first camera that we were discussing outside. This one's gonna give you the assistance in your backup for, you know, hooking up to a hitch, whatever you may need, that's gonna be that camera. Camera 2, we have our camera 3, camera 4, and then you have the ability for split screen. So there's camera 1 and 2, 1, 2, and 3, and then the ability to see all your cameras at once. So no matter where you put your cameras, whether it's, you know, putting one right by the bumper pull to help with that hookup, or in your your stock trailer, whatever you may need, we're putting these cameras. You can visualize all those with your hands on the wheel, so that's a great thing to keep in mind. We'll go ahead and leave that back at camera one. Right over here, you're gonna see we have our secondary mic for Bluetooth. We have our air horn right over here. And then down up by the window, we have our controls for our mirrors. And then we have 2 window buttons. Now I get this question all the time. These are gonna right now give you access to using the 2 front windows. By clicking the rear button, you will now have the ability to use the 2 back windows. So that's a great thing to keep in mind. Moving up here by the steering wheel, right here we have our display controls. So as you can see on this Freightliner specifically, it has a very nice display where you can see all the diagnostics of the truck, you can see everything going on, we have no alerts. So this is gonna be very user-friendly and easy to use. So like I said, it's gonna be great, and it gives you all of those controls right from the screen. Right over here is going to be our cruise control options. So it's a nice feature to have safety-wise. You can use that right from your steering wheel. You don't have to take your hands off the wheel, but those are gonna be the controls for those. And then our calling for the Bluetooth options as well. Right here we have our control. We can see we have our gear shift built into this guy, but it isn't only the gear shift. This is going to be the controls to use it in manual. So by pushing this button straight in and shifting back and forward, you are going to be able to use this truck in manual mode, and that's how you would shift. Not only that, but we have the engine brakes on this little control right here. So it's going to shift 1, 2, and 3, and that is going to be how you use those engine brakes. Alrighty, right here we have the trailer air supply. So if your trailer is a air ride trailer, that is going to be where you would supply that air right there. And then we have our truck's parking brake right here. This button is going to be our Red Arc trailer brake, and then that can be adjusted based on sensitivity to where you want it. We have our subwoofer controls right here. And then for the strip, we have our hazards, dome light, footwell, and our pre-trip. Now the difference between this pre-trip and the one that we have on the side of the truck down there is gonna be that will run an entire pre-trip check, not only for your truck, but that's gonna run it for your trailer as well. And I know I've seen people on the road who have a blinker out on their trailer and they have no idea. That is gonna give you the safety of ensuring that everything is working, not only on your truck, but your trailer as well. Right here is going to be our optional switches. Now you can always add a light bar, penny lights, any fun accessories onto this truck. Those switches can be built right there. These controls are going to be the air for the back seat, and that is going to be the fan speed. And then right down here, these are going to be our Detroit Assurance safety features. So I know we talked a little bit about the Detroit outside, but there's a lot of great safety features built into this truck to keep you and everyone else on the road safe. So we have the brake assist, lane departure warning, traction control, and then our shutdown override. Now the shutdown override is one that there's a lot of questions about. Now the way you're going to use that is if you're getting an air, there's a great issue on, the engine, it's having a problem. If you click that button, it is going to override those alerts, and it's going to give you the opportunity to safely get off the road without the engine shutting down. So just be cautious when using that, but that is going to override the bad alerts that the engine might give you. Right here is going to be our differential lock and then our suspension dump. Now that is just going to drop the airbags in that, the back of the truck, where it's going to make it easier for you to hook up, and just where you want to sit with that trailer, that is going to be where your suspension dump button is. Those two plugins right there are going to be for our Stinger navigation system. Now moving up here to our Stinger system, this is going to be a very user-friendly control right here. So you have the ability to use Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, you can connect your Bluetooth and use your phone from here, but another important feature is using the navigation system. Now, the navigation system is going to give you the ability to not have to sit here and, use Apple Maps on your phone. You can have everything set up where you can keep your hands on the wheel and still get your navigation. So the Singer system is absolutely amazing, and then this is touchscreen, and like I said, very user-friendly. Moving right down here, these are going to be the controls for the air up here. I don't need to go in much detail. This is going to be about the standard as a normal pickup truck would be. Taking a look, we've got a lot of room up here. We've got 4 very large cup holders. Now, these cup holders are very nice because they can be removed and be cleaned. I know I've spilled in my cup holders before. I'm sure a lot of other people can or have. But another great thing to know is with these large cup holders, you can fit large Stanley cups, larger water bottles. I know in the pickup trucks that some of those cup holders are very small, so you can't do that, but on this truck, on these Freightliners, you can. Looking here, we have a large storage box that does have lighting. You can fit quite a few things in there. It is very roomy, so lots of storage overall in this cab up here, so that's a large one. Alrighty, now taking a look up there, you're gonna see again we have that beautiful brown strip interior. And we have some great features of lighting on this truck. So the first one we have is going to be those reading lights. Those are going to be very bright, especially at night. It's going to give you plenty of light up here for whatever you may need to do. We have our blue LED lights. Now that is going to be great for that night driving. I know a lot of these, if you're looking to purchase this truck, there's probably going to be a good chance you are going to be driving at night. This is going to accumulate your eyes to the bright lights on the road, and it's just going to keep you more awake, so that's a great feature to use. And then the last one we have is our very fun mood lighting. It reminds me of like a limo or a party bus, so it's just a really fun feature that Freightliner adds into these trucks just to give it a little more of a luxury vibe in this luxury truck. So that's an awesome feature as well, and it looks exceptionally good at night. I think that I've covered everything on this truck. If you are interested in this truck or any of the others on our lot, please give me a call. I would love to chat with you, answer any questions you may have. My phone number, my email is right here, and like I said, I would love to talk to you guys. So just give me a call or send me an email if you're interested to have any questions. Thanks, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and we will see you next week.